Hello everyone and welcome to another Wavelength Wednesdays. My name is Waveney. I'm your career coach, and every week I bring you tips and strategies that are geared towards connecting, inspiring and influencing you to being the best in your career. And so I'm still on the topic of the theme of career entanglements. Last week I spoke about dating or getting involved with persons on the job and just some drama that can come from that. And so this week I'll focus on integrity. And so integrity is really about doing the right thing when no one is watching. That is one of the definitions. Whether they are watching or whether they aren't watching, it's always about doing the right thing. And I'll take it a step further and let you know that even if there is no immediate reward for you, so it's doing the right thing whether or not someone is watching, whether you're a leader or whomever, or you're the persons that report to you, or it's also doing the right thing when there's no reward, there's no additional benefit, I should say, for you. All right, but before I jump into it, let me just let you know, if at any time, if you haven't subscribed, I should say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit like, hit the little bell, that's the notification button, so whenever I release videos you are aware of it. And if you'd love to be coached by me, send me an email at hellowaveney@thepeople'sbrand.com, or you can go to Facebook or my Instagram and then click on the book now button and it'll take you straight to the sign up process. All right, so are you ready to get on the same wavelength? Fabulous. All right, so integrity is one of those things that nobody really speaks about. Nobody is really sometimes sure what it is until a situation happens, because it can cover such a wide variety, and not variety, but yeah, so many different actions or behaviors or situations are covered under integrity. And most of the times people don't understand that this is a career entanglement until it is too late. And so I just want to highlight three main easy, well, not easy, but what should I say, what's that word, recognizable situations that persons should be aware of, but sometimes they're not aware that that is crossing the integrity boundary. And so the first tip I want to talk about is the first integrity, I don't know what's happening to me today. The first integrity entanglement I want to talk about is commitment. See, I could see your face now, like, what? Commitment. Yes, commitment. So commitment is really about doing what you say you're gonna do. It's about, if you're on your job, and all this is, you can transfer it to your personal life, but we're speaking about in your career. It's doing what you say you're gonna do. It's doing the job that you have been hired to do. So I have a little story to bring home this point. What does commitment look like, or not look like, I should say, in your job? So in March of 1989, yes, I'll go all the way back, and if you see me peering down, I made some notes. In March of 1989, the company Exxon, they're one of the largest gas and oil companies in the world. So they had an oil tanker that was in the region of Alaska, and it was transporting, I think it was about 54 or so, about million gallons of oil. and there was an accident, and so it caused an oil spill, about 10.8 million gallons of oil spilled in the ocean. And I don't have to tell you, that is a huge catastrophe, because it just not only impacts the company, they've lost profit, you should say, but it also impacts the environment in such a major way. And this is said to be one of the second largest oil spills in the US. I'm not even sure if the world, but in the US for sure. So, of course, you know, there's going to be an investigation, and the investigations revealed the following. So there was a broken radar on the ship, because what had happened was the ship hit a reef. The ship hit a reef, all right? So the investigations revealed that there was a broken radar on the ship for over a year, all right? Secondly, the captain handed over the steering of the ship to a third mate officer, or a junior officer, who was sleep deprived. Okay. There's the other thing that the investigation revealed is that there is a certain number of crew. The crew should be a certain number on board, and that wasn't happening. There was actually a shortage, right? The other thing the investigation revealed was the captain was under the influence of alcohol, and he was asleep at the time when the incident happened. Okay. The other thing the investigation revealed is they did not follow the shipping route. So there's a particular route that the ship should have followed, and they didn't follow it. I guess if they had, they wouldn't have ran into that reef, right? Makes sense, right? And then last thing is there is an equipment, an iceberg monitoring equipment that should have been on the ship, and it was never installed on the ship. And so I list this example because this is a clear example of lack of commitment. These people didn't do what they say they were going to do. The company for sure, the person who was responsible for reporting that broken radar, the captain of all people who was supposed to be a leader, okay, it just all went wrong. And so I am not going to berate the point anymore. This first tip is that when you're on your job, this is what commitment looks like. Commitment looks like doing what you say you're going to do, doing what the company is paying you to do, unless it's illegal, right? Doing what the company is paying you to do. And this is so, so important. And you could extract so many lessons from this. And the impact of this, not only on the environment, it cost the company like 3.8 million to clean up, US dollars to clean up, as well as $507.5 million in damages that they awarded to, I guess, the families and so forth, and all these people who were affected. And so your commitment, do what you say you're gonna do. All right. The second tip I want to talk about is accepting gifts. That sometimes that's a real gray area, and that's an area that can cause an entanglement. And so what does this look like? Now, in persuasion psychology, there's something that is called the Benjamin Franklin effect. They call it because he made some sort of quote, and so they named this effect from him. And basically what it is that if I do a favor for you, if I perform a favor for you, you are more than likely to, if I ask you for a favor, you are more than likely to reciprocate that favor because I've done something for you. All right? And so the reason why I say that is because you have to be very, very careful, because for many of us, we are in certain positions that we can influence an outcome, that we can provide certain types of information to people, and you have to be careful. I'm not saying that everybody is want something who gives you a gift. There's some people who are genuinely thankful, but you may want to check your company policy, gift giving policy, because a lot of companies have implemented policies like these because people have innocently accepted gifts and they're really hidden bribes. All right, and so you have to be very, very careful when it comes on accepting gifts. Like I say, check your company policy, see what it says. Be very careful if a customer, a client wants to give you a gift. Okay, check with your human resources. Just check it all out because it may cost you your job. You may be in an entanglement, walking into an entanglement, a gift entanglement, and you don't even know it. All right, and we don't want that to happen to you. I certainly don't want that to happen to you. And then lastly, this is something quite simple, but it happens, and I'm going to draw this example. This is about not following. You need to follow process and standard procedures, and so you can get in an entanglement by not doing that. And so a quick example is that some companies have a policy where if they're going to obtain services from a vendor, they need to have a certain number of quotes. It's usually 3, and there's a reason for this. All right, there's a reason for this because sometimes, for example, when you live on a small island, like St. Kitts is 68 square miles for those of you who are not familiar with my island. And so you may find that a family member or a spouse or a friend has that particular service. And so even if the company decides to go with the friend, the family member, or what have you, you still need to have 3 quotes. And if you are in that position, maybe purchasing or whatever, you should speak up and say, listen, I just want you to know that this person is my relative. Maybe you have followed that procedure, but you want to be transparent as possible because I know of a situation where somebody got terminated for that because they didn't follow the process and it was a family member providing it, and so it looks sort of shady. You have to be transparent. All right, and so these are just some things, that 3 quick things. They're very easy, but there's a lot of gray area when it comes to integrity, and I just really wanted to highlight these. I don't want you to fall into this integrity career entanglement trap. All right, and so share the video if you really like it. Share it with someone who needs to hear it. And if you'd love to be coached by me, send me an email at hellowaveney@thepeople'sbrand.com. I would be more than happy to work with you. Until then, I'll see you next week. Bye.